Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. And we're really tailoring this one to you specifically because we know you've been interested in what it takes to be a business coach.
That's right, and we've got a ton to unpack today because RoleCatcher has given us some awesome materials to dig into.
We're talking their whole career guide, right? And like their insider tips on how to nail those job interviews, which, let's be honest, those can be scary.
Oh yeah, but they didn't stop there. They even get into how AI is changing the entire game, both for job seekers and for coaches themselves.
And that's actually some of the coolest stuff. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to start with the basics, right? So, RoleCatcher defines a business coach as someone who optimizes the performance and satisfaction of employees within a company. And I'm like, that's kind of deep, isn't it?
It is. It really gets to the heart of what this role is all about, which is helping people be their absolute best at work, but not just in terms of hitting those targets, but also feeling good about it.
And feeling good at work is so important. Like, nobody wants to dread going to work every day.
Exactly. And this role is becoming more and more important in today's world. I mean, think about it.
Because everything's changing so fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Companies have to adapt constantly, right?
Mm.
And that means their employees have to adapt too.
Right. You can't just learn one skill and call it a day anymore. Those days are long gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where business coaches step in.
Mhm.
They're the ones who help employees embrace these changes, develop new skills, and figure out how to navigate this whole crazy, ever-evolving work environment.
And it's not just about telling people what to do either, which I thought was super interesting from the Role Catcher Guide. It's about guiding people to find their own solutions.
100%. It's like, think about a time when, you knew the answer to something, but you actually learned more by figuring it out on your own.
Oh, all the time.
Right. It's that whole give a man a fish thing, teach someone to fish, and they can feed themselves for life. Except in this case, we're teaching people how to fish in the constantly flowing river of the business world, right?
Yeah. Okay, I love that analogy. And it makes me think about how much employers value problem-solving skills these days. It's not just about following instructions anymore. They want people who can think for themselves.
You're totally right. They want people who can see a problem, analyze it, come up with creative solutions.
Mhm.
And those are exactly the skills that a good business coach helps develop in others.
So it's about more than just like boosting someone's performance on one specific task. It's about giving them the tools and the mindset to succeed in any situation, right?
Exactly. It's about long-term growth and development, not just quick fixes.
Totally. And speaking of growth, I was super impressed with how Rollcatcher didn't just talk about the what of being a business coach, but also the how of building a career in this field, which I think is so important.
Oh, absolutely. The practical stuff is key. And they really get into it like they have this whole breakdown of career progression from entry level to like senior leadership roles.
And they even talk about the different certifications you can get and the skills you need to develop at each stage, which I thought was incredibly helpful.
It's like they're giving you a roadmap for your coaching career, which
Hmm.
is so valuable because it can feel overwhelming otherwise.
Totally. It's like, where do you even begin?
Right. But RoleCatcher breaks it down into manageable steps.
Hmm.
And they even have these profiles of real-life business coaches at different stages in their careers.
Oh, yeah. That part was super cool to see how these people actually made it happen.
It makes the whole thing feel much more tangible and achievable. Like, if they can do it, maybe I can too.
Exactly. Seeing those real coaches in the Role Catcher Guide, like with their stories and everything, it makes you realize this whole business coach thing, it's not just some abstract dream job. It's a real career path, with actual steps you can take. They even break it down kind of like levels in a video game.
Right. I thought that was so smart because it gives you this clear picture of what you need to do at each stage. Like, okay, to get to that level, here are the certifications I should go for, that sort of thing.
Exactly. It's all laid out there. And that kind of clarity, it's super valuable, especially in a field like business coaching where things are changing so quickly. The business world is like a speedboat, right? And the role of the coach has to keep up.
100%. I mean, think about how much technology has changed the way we work just in the past few years. And that actually reminds me, RoleCatcher's take on AI in all of this
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Right. Using AI to like help people get hired and even to coach better. It's wild.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's actually happening. They've got these tools to do this stuff right now. Like, you know how hard it is to get your resume noticed these days, those applicant tracking systems?
Don't even get me started. You spend hours perfecting your resume and then a computer tosses it in the trash before a human even sees it. It's so frustrating.
Okay, so RoleCatcher, they've got this AI that analyzes job descriptions and figures out exactly what those applicant tracking systems are looking for, the keywords and all that.
Yeah.
So instead of your resume getting lost in the void, it's like, boom, it gets a spotlight.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. Give me all the secret weapons.
Right. And get this, they're using AI to help people prepare for interviews too. It's like having a personal coach, but AI powered,
Hmm.
giving you feedback on your answers, your body language, everything.
No way. That's amazing. And it makes you realize you have to be pretty tech savvy to be a good business coach these days, right?
Totally. Not just for running your own business, but also for supporting your clients
Hmm.
in a world where tech is everywhere. Which actually makes you wonder, how else is this whole coaching AI thing going to play out in the future?
It's crazy to think about. What if AI could, like, analyze a client's communication style and give them tips on how to improve their interactions, or create customized learning plans based on their strengths and weaknesses?
The possibilities are mind-blowing. It's like we're not just talking about coaching individuals anymore. We're talking about shaping entire company cultures with the help of AI.
Right. It's like taking business coaching to a whole new level. And, after going through all these role catcher resources, I'm even more convinced that this career path, it's got some serious potential.
Me too. And what's really cool is this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only scratched the surface of what there is to learn about being a business coach.
Definitely. But hey, we've given you a pretty solid place to start, right? We've talked about what business coaches actually do, gone over the steps to build your career, and even dipped our toes into the whole world of AI and coaching, which is super exciting.
Absolutely. And remember, this deep dive was all about your interests, what you were curious about.
Exactly. This wasn't just random info. It was all about giving you the tools you need to explore this path.
And that's what's so important. This isn't about just listening to us talk. It's about taking action.
So as you're thinking about all of this, here's what I want you to ask yourself. What kind of impact do you want to make as a business coach?
What type of clients would you be most excited to work with?
What unique skills and experiences can you bring to the table?
And remember, the RoleCatcher website is a gold mine of information. They've got articles, case studies, even a forum where you can connect with other people who are just as passionate about business coaching as you are. So don't be shy, jump in and get involved.
Yes, get in there and make it happen. This deep dive has been awesome, and I'm so glad you came along for the ride. It's like we're not just talking about like one-on-one coaching anymore. It's bigger than that, you know?
Exactly. We're talking about shaping the whole culture of a company,
Yeah,
and that's where things get really interesting.
totally. It's like helping people be their best and creating a work environment where everyone can thrive. It's pretty powerful stuff.
It is. And, after spending time with these RoleCatcher resources, I'm even more convinced that this whole business coaching thing, it's a career path with a ton of potential.
Right. And we've only just scratched the surface here, but hopefully we've given you a good starting point, like a foundation to build on.
Absolutely. We've covered the basics of what a business coach actually does, right?
Yep. And we looked at how to actually build a career in this field, which, let's be real, that's important. It's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Definitely not. But it's also about being adaptable and open to new possibilities, which, speaking of,
AI. Don't forget the AI.
right, we can't leave that out. That whole conversation about how technology, AI specifically, is changing the coaching landscape, that's something to keep in mind as you move forward.
It's like this whole other dimension to explore, and who knows what's going to happen next. It's kind of exciting.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway here is this deep dive. It was all about you, your interests, your goals, your questions.
Exactly. And now it's about what you're going to do with all this info.
So as you're thinking about your next steps,
Yeah.
here's what I want you to keep in mind. What kind of impact do you want to make as a business coach?
What kind of clients do you want to work with?
And what makes you uniquely qualified to guide them?
And don't forget, RoleCatcher has got your back. Their website is like a treasure chest of resources, articles, success stories, even a whole community of people who are on this same journey.
So connect with them, ask questions, learn from each other, and most importantly, don't be afraid to go for it.
Yes, go make it happen. This has been an awesome deep dive. Thanks for coming along with us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep reaching for your full potential.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
See you in the next one.